have been in organized philanthropy, I guess if you start with the American Cancer Society and such, for 30 years. And particularly with the Kellogg Foundation, I've just had some extraordinary experiences, you know, with the people I've met and the places I've traveled and the projects I've seen that we've had the privilege of funding. But I can honestly say, of my entire career, there has been nothing that has been more fun and more rewarding than my direct involvement with the Michigan Community Foundation Youth Project. You know, when we were establishing these funds and these youth committees, I think the community foundations at first thought, well, we'll put these committees together and in 3 or 5 years they'll go away and Kellogg will forget all about this. Well, Kellogg didn't forget about it. The Council of Michigan Foundations didn't forget about it. We really emphasize the importance that these committees need to be in place kind of in perpetuity, much like the funds are. And as the community foundations started experiencing it, they realized, well, of course we want to have these committees into perpetuity. And it was because of that extraordinary experience that through CMF, we were able to start passing some legislation that allows young people to start serving on corporate boards because they started realizing the importance of having the voices at the table of the people that these organizations are so often trying to serve. I mean, one of my favorite stories, Rob Collier tells it best. Several years ago, he was at a international chocolate fair in New York. And there was this one booth of this boutique chocolate shop in Grand Haven, Michigan, which was startling for Rob because he works in Grand Haven, Michigan. And this woman was selling chocolate and her sign said something like 5% of all proceeds go to charity. So he was intrigued by that, asked her about it, and she said, well, the reason I did that is because when I was young, I was on the Youth Advisory Committee for the Grand Haven Community Foundation and I understood the importance of giving back. And so here we had a story, almost 20 years later, 2 decades, of a person who had this experience as a 16-year-old and now remembered that experience that was so powerful for her that she learned she had a responsibility and an opportunity to start giving back. You know, much like Dr. Mauby said in his speech at the launch of this effort, it's much like throwing a pebble in a pond, and where the ripples end, we'll never know. And I think the experiences that are going to come as a result of this, oh, we've seen some of them, but I don't think we've begun to see the real impact that this effort is going to have for this state, and I would ultimately say for the country.